Let me ask you something. How many times have you watched a motivational video, felt absolutely unstoppable, promised yourself everything would change starting Monday, and then by Wednesday, you were right back where you started? If you're honest, it's happened more times than you can count. And here's the part that really stings. It's not your fault. But it is your responsibility to understand what's actually happening. You've been trapped in the motivation cycle, and it's designed to fail. Here's how it works. You feel stuck or disappointed in yourself. You search for motivation. You find an inspiring video or quote. Your brain floods with dopamine. You feel capable, powerful, ready. You might even take action for a day or two. Then the feeling fades. You're back to baseline. The guilt creeps in. You feel even worse than before. So you search for motivation again. And the cycle continues. This isn't personal development. This is addiction. You're not building a better life. You're building a dependency on external inspiration to feel worthy of taking action. And the most successful people on the planet don't operate this way at all. Let me tell you what nobody wants to hear. Motivation is a lie. Not completely, but the way it's sold to you is fundamentally broken. Motivation is an emotion. And like all emotions, it's temporary, unreliable, and completely outside your control. Basing your transformation on motivation is like building a house on sand. It feels solid until the tide comes in. The truth is, motivation is what gets you started. That initial spark matters. But it's systems that keep you going. And it's identity that makes change permanent. Let's break down why the motivation you've been chasing is actually holding you back. Every time you watch motivational content, your brain releases dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical associated with reward and pleasure. Here's the problem. Your brain doesn't distinguish between watching someone else succeed and actually succeeding yourself. When you consume motivational content, you get the neurological reward without doing the work. You feel productive without producing anything. You feel like you're changing without actually changing. This is called vicarious achievement, and it's incredibly dangerous. You've tricked your brain into thinking you've already accomplished something just by watching the video. The urge to take action decreases because you've already received the chemical payoff. You're literally getting high on other people's success and calling it self-improvement. Now let's talk about what actually works. Discipline. And I know you don't want to hear that. Discipline sounds boring, rigid, joyless. But here's what discipline really is. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. Discipline is freedom. It's the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And unlike motivation, discipline is completely within your control. Successful people aren't more motivated than you. They've just built systems that remove the need for motivation. They've automated the right behaviors. They've designed their environment so that doing the right thing is easier than doing the wrong thing. They've made decisions once instead of every single day. Let me give you an example. You don't need motivation to brush your teeth. You just do it. It's automatic. It's part of your identity. You're a person who brushes their teeth. The same transformation needs to happen with everything else you want to change. It needs to move from something you're motivated to do to something you simply are. This is the identity shift, and it's the most powerful lever for lasting change. Most people try to change through outcomes. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to make more money. I want to be successful. But outcome-based goals require constant motivation because you're always chasing something you don't have. Identity-based change works differently. Instead of focusing on what you want to achieve, you focus on who you want to become. You don't say, I want to run a marathon. You say, I am a runner. You don't say, I want to write a book. You say, I am a writer. And here's the key. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. When you go to the gym, even though you're tired, you're casting a vote for being an athlete. When you write one paragraph even though you feel uninspired, you're casting a vote for being a writer. When you save money instead of spending it, you're casting a vote for being financially responsible. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to win the majority of the votes. So how do you actually build this? How do you create systems that work when motivation is gone? Start by engineering your environment. Your environment is the invisible hand that shapes your behavior. If you want to eat healthier, don't keep junk food in your house. If you want to read more, put a book on your pillow. If you want to work out in the morning, sleep in your gym clothes. Make the good behaviors obvious and easy. Make the bad behaviors invisible and difficult. This isn't willpower. This is architecture. You're designing a life where the default option is the right option. Next, use the 2-minute rule. When you're building a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Want to become a reader? Your habit isn't reading for an hour. It's reading 1 page. Want to start meditating? Your habit isn't 20 minutes of stillness. It's taking 3 deep breaths. The goal isn't to do one thing perfectly. The goal is to show up consistently. Because showing up builds identity. And here's the final truth that nobody wants to accept. Real change is uncomfortable. Not sometimes. Always. The gap between who you are and who you want to become is filled with discomfort, uncertainty, and resistance. That resistance never goes away. You just get better at moving through it. Motivation tries to make you feel good enough to take action. But lasting change requires you to take action, especially when you feel terrible. The days you don't want to show up are the days that matter most. Those are the days you're literally rewiring your brain, rewriting your identity, and proving to yourself that you're not controlled by your feelings. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop searching for the perfect video to make you feel capable. You already are capable. You just need to build the systems that prove it to yourself every single day. Small actions, repeated consistently, in an environment designed for success, rooted in the identity of who you're becoming. That's the formula. It's not sexy. It's not a quick hit of inspiration. But it's real. And it works. The dark side of motivation is that it keeps you comfortable in the cycle of consumption. The bright side of discipline is that it sets you free. You get to choose which one defines your next 90 days.